83% to Saudi Arabia, 17% to Norway. Oh, poor Norway, man. Poor Norway.
It's looking like it is going to be a little bit of a dogfight with the Echoes up in the sky to kick things off.
Yeah, down on the ground, though, that Diva versus...
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, chat. Norway between Saudi Arabia. I think Saudi Arabia is definitely going to win this. Yeah, he missed a kill, though.
Onto Norway, sitting down Psycho and Mimio immediately, and now going after Norway's Diva. Isaac going down very quickly. Thermaged actually going to land quite a few
Oni God is going to need to pop off. Oh,
Saudi Arabia already frying.
And you saw how quickly all of them collapsed on top of the corpse to make sure that Mimio couldn't get the res there. Like, Saudi Arabia is also a very coordinated squad, and that's what makes it.
I'm rooting for Norway because they have JP and Mimio as well.
Try and go for that. They didn't
I really like their backline.
The man advantage, they get it. That's gonna get them the early cap.
Already up to 15%, and they are fighting very aggressive, taking control of that bridge. Yazan just firing from up above, Haku right beside him. Oni God is trying to take control of all of these health packs around the map and go for a little bit more of that dive play, but okay. That is just an
holy shit, he has ult already?
Mimio actually does get the res off onto Isaac to bring that tank back into the fight, but Yazan switching onto the Sombra, getting a good hack off, not able to get enough damage to secure the pick, but KSA, they are doing so well for themselves. Isaac already going down as well after switching.
Why don't they just go hit scan to counter echo? That's what J3 would do. I mean, I'm a hit scan player, that's why.
Yazan got that first duplicate so fast, lit it up, ended up making it so
I don't know.
Norway could not.
Norway and other teams probably have strats to...
And now Saudi Arabia have 4 ultimates. I mean, Norway, they're building up to something, but the pace is slow. They have to try and pick something up. And they can't be losing their main healer there, JP. To a bunch of sticky bombs. The res is going to come through, but that's one tool out of the toolbox already.
Yeah, that damage boost is just so oppressive on Yazan, especially
that's
with
a
those
big
sticky
EMP,
bombs.
but
now with the rampage from KSAA and the
that's a big EMP, but they have rush.
It's going to make it very hard for Norway to get a foot onto this objective. Saudi Arabia actually going to be forced to back up though after both the Valkyrie and Kitsune rush from Norway's side. Saudi Arabia's own Valkyrie does come out a little bit later. Thermaged though looking for that pick onto Oni God, forcing them back into spawn.
I mean, Saudi Arabia may have just made a crucial mistake. They just used 4 ultimates. I mean, they're going to find the pick up there onto Psycho, but I think the res should be able to come through there.
Yeah,
okay, no,
I think Saudi Arabia is fine, though. They use 4 ults, but they have Yazan's ult, plus Norway's only at 22%.
And there's that
and they're dying right now. No, Norway, Norway.
Saudi Arabia, they're doing so much damage in just a matter of seconds, and Norway doesn't really have that kind of burst healing to keep their teammates up, especially since their own DPSs aren't performing to the same level that Saudi Arabia's is. Now 99%.
No, Mimio! Oh, Mimio! Oh, Oni God!
Early, and Oni God and Psycho both go down. No DPSs. The rampage is a little too late. And there's just nothing to be done on this first map.
I
that was a nice Suzu by JP.
Saudi Arabia, and it turns out they don't actually need the ultimates if they just make it so that they take down one member of Norway at random every time they try to come anywhere near the point. And yeah, they're just going to be able to win off the man advantage 100 times out of 100. Norway looking a little shaky to start things off. There's little glimmers of the kinds of things I want to see, little glimmers of like the coordination, but there's always just like one small thing that doesn't even feel like a mistake in the moment, but ends up being one once Saudi Arabia just collapses on top of that Mercy going for the res, or on top of Oni God trying to go for a flank where he uncloaks himself and suddenly
Hannibal, appreciate the massive new tier 1 sub.
They have to try and get in safely, hold the point, and just not lose people. They're just losing people. They're bleeding a person like every couple seconds here in these fights. They might. Oh, okay. Thermaged almost falls there.
That was really close for Norway to get that opening.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yazan's going to once again be the one to open things up for Saudi Arabia. With their Oni God down, they're looking at 1 less DPS, less damage when Yazan is already performing at the top.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
And now looking to collapse.
It just looks like Norway is getting like
actually going to be the first to fall without the pocket
outclassed in every way.
The Echo of Norway, they're looking to retreat and disengage from this fight.
Yazan and Quartz are just.
And Norway playing this
rolling the DPS. KSA is just rolling the tank, man. And then the supports for Saudi Arabia are just playing, I guess, better. Everyone's just playing a lot better.
And Norway is a team that we've known to play edgier comps in an attempt to try and counter what we see other teams bringing out.
I mean, they've decided that the Sombras are not going to work.
TJ, Perseverance have 34 months, my friend.
Which I kind of like. They can just play it a little bit more towards the point, try and force a little bit more positioning. But I mean, Yazan has just been deleting people at will with the sticky bombs, and there goes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Norway's not playing like a team, bro.
Probably didn't even need it, but gonna go ahead and invest it anyway. And still, Norway just can't find anything.
And JP also falling Norway. Their picks are also very staggered. Mimio just got back into the fight, and all of a sudden they've lost their other support as well. JP does come back up with the help of the res, but once again, tools in the toolbox. They're just not in control of the pace of this round, of the pace of this map so far, and it doesn't seem like there's anything to be done from Norway. Finally, the Kitsune rush does come through, but it's two ultimates to counter from Saudi Arabia's side, Rampage and Kitsune rush from Surmajed to force this tempo far more into their favor once again.
I don't know, bro. I feel bad for Norway. I've been cheering on Team Norway ever since they played, but like
shredded by Quartz with a damage boost, and Haku able to bring back their tank in a matter of seconds.
The rampage from KSA there was just massive. I mean, the Suzu from JP came out, but it didn't catch Isaac, and they just burned down Isaac, identifying that he just didn't have, he was anti-healed, he couldn't get in. Now, Norway, they only really have one more shot at this, and the EMP is going to make it so, yeah, Isaac doesn't even make it to the point. They're only going to have Psycho with a duplicate to try and get the,
Hey, they flipped the point, though. That's good, I guess.
But they're still losing bodies.
Yeah, that was off mostly just a mistake from Saudi Arabia as well, not touching that point as they were coming in. Psycho duplicating the Junker Queen, though, and the Rampage does come through. That little bit of healing onto KSA keeps Psycho alive, but now forced out of the duplicate and having to retreat very quickly.
Oh,
the recap is
nerf that fucking character, bro. Nerf Kiriko. She's a stupid-ass fucking character, dude.
Started on
Keep it 2 times the headshot damage, not 3.
With the duplicate now from Yazan. They can't get the touch through, just forced back with the duplicate of Junker Queen.
Chat, I don't know why it says it's 0-0, bro. Like, you guys gotta give Blizzard a chance. Blizzard is a small company. They just started about like a few weeks ago. They're doing pretty good for being a, a company that doesn't have any money.
That's just gonna be it for Norway.
Isaac is trying to find a way in onto Quartz, but that was a shot onto Onigod. It was certainly one. Mimio does bring back Onigod very quickly. Isaac goes for the dive onto Quartz, getting real low. Surmajed does come in with the Suzu to save Quartz, but Onigod will finish them off with the dynamite. They're able to get a bit of the caps on the point, though, and Norway doesn't have any way to contest. It's just the Baby Diva can touch the point momentarily, but once again, the focus on Quartz has left Yazan to go on a rampage. They cap that point in a matter of seconds.
That's all just systematic, though, right? So, like, Quartz finds that opening shot onto Onigod. Mimio has to peel off from protecting JP to try and get that res off. And while she's going for that res, JP gets hard focused down by Yazan and the rest of the crew. And suddenly, you've lost your main source of healing for this composition. You have no legs to stand on anymore, and Saudi Arabia can just run right over you. That's one of the reasons why you see Saudi Arabia. They have Surmajed on the Kiriko. It's a lot more survivable than an Ana in this sort of situation. You have the swift step to get out of dodge. You have the Suzu to try and keep yourself alive. You also have the threat of like 1 or 2 well-placed kunai just putting the whole fight to bed there. She's a lot better at dueling. But
what happens if both teams draw this match? Who picks next? I think the losing team still picks from the first one.
They didn't have the healing output to contest with the damage.
Not so sure. We haven't had any ties, so I don't know. I don't know how the rules would be.
Yeah, but JP, the Ana.
Yeah, I don't know what Norway's doing, bro. Norway is playing so far back safely, and then they just die one by one. Like
still going forward, and now duplicating the Ashe, already having the ultimate on the line, and Saudi Arabia quickly on pace with the rest of the ultimates as well. Bob coming through very quickly.
What is Norway doing, dude?
That's all that she wrote.
Yeah, and like you use the sights and you use the duplicate, but like you kind of just throw those away at the pace that you're
no, don't tell me they're gonna have 5.5 minutes.
What's the time?
5.5 minutes for third phase King's Row.
That's just absolutely insane. And they've already taken down the Echo Mercy combo. They can just keep trudging right forward. Norway have to invest in order to stop the bleeding here. Here comes the Bob, but Haku can just go for the res there. And even if they don't get the res off, I mean, they've already, like I said, 5:30, and they've got the forward spawns. The pressure's only going to stop for a couple seconds, and then Saudi Arabia are going to put it right back on.
Yeah, Quartz is able to get out of the dive that Isaac was trying to pull as well. The self-destruct comes through. Norway with 4 ultimates that they can expend to try and stall out this last point. Saudi Arabia looking to force with the Valkyrie and Kitsune rush. Psycho gets very low, uses the duplicate, but it's the Widowmaker, and the ultimate from the Widowmaker isn't going to have a huge effect here. And he also has to be hitting these shots, which we're just seeing. Saudi Arabia.
Oh, finally, he hits one, he hits one, he hits one.
So the Widowmaker 1v1 that we dreamed of might come through, but it's only that one shot to be spoken of before the duplicate comes away. The Rampage gets so much onto all of Norway, and they don't have that Curiko to cleanse the damage or the anti-heal away, and it's just Saudi Arabia all in the kill feed all the way. Baby Diva, all that's left. Isaac goes down in a very quick fashion.
Yeah, and Norway, like, look how much they had to expend just to not hold there. Like, Saudi Arabia, they're gonna have the duplicate and they're gonna have the sites again. Sites you don't really worry about, but it's gonna make it a little bit difficult to come out of the spawn at all. You're gonna have to try and overcome this duplicate from Yazan. Burning down KSA will be a good start, but yeah, the peel is there. Onigod's already dead. This is looking more and more dire as time goes on.
Yeah, I feel bad for Norway, bro.
Now looking to just spawn camp Mimio. Not going to allow this Ana out of the spawn room, and that's so much burst healing that they just don't have access to. And it's Onigod and JP. Do they have that way to contest after Isaac is brought
Norway
out
doesn't
of the
have
mech
any
and
ults. They almost have Bob. They almost have Bob.
They do have Psycho on that
they almost have
Tracer
Pulse
that can
Bomb.
dance around the objective a little bit more, but the duplicate to come through from Yazan. How is he so good at hitting these precise shots? JP brought down to 1 HP as well. JP able to take down the tank for Saudi Arabia.
Psycho is actually stalling the point. Holy shit.
They are contesting, but they have to do so for 3 more minutes if they want to stop the full
No, I think they hold this, chat. I think they hold this. I think they hold this.
With a decent time bank left to spare, Mimio going down once again, just not having that same survivability as on the Mercy.
They have the Bob, they have the Tracer.
That's what they wanted here. The Bob from Norway is going to stall on the objective as well. Yazan does finally go down, and Haku doesn't have the res to speak of yet, but Quartz goes insane once again after Yazan is taken down. Round 1 with 2.
Quartz just killed like 4 people at the end as well. Holy shit.
The pressure from Saudi Arabia just doesn't stop. Like, again, like, earlier on I was like, yeah, they have to invest in order to try and stop the bleeding, but it only stops for a couple minutes before another potentially fatal cut is dealt. And it just keeps coming over and over again. They don't really know.
No, there's no curse, bro. There's no curse. All I said was, hey, Norway might hold this. They had the Tracer, they had the Bob. There's no curse. There's no curse.
Astounding. And still, like, you know,
I literally just said what I was
Norway
thinking.
Can try and hope for, try and match that, try and make sure that you stay above a minute yourself, or try and make sure that you do finish with time so you have a chance at winning this. But that still just looked like Saudi Arabia was in the driver's seat the whole time, and all Norway could really do was kick and scream in the back seat to try and slow it down.
Hell up! I appreciate the massive 300 bits, my friend. How you doing?
Saudi Arabia, every single time without fail, the tempo is in their control, and the only time when we saw that stop was when they were against Finland, and they did have to switch out the DPSs as well momentarily. And Norway now looking at a different kind of composition with Mimio and JP. We saw this momentarily on their defensive side, and it allowed them to have a little bit of that survivability, but I still feel that the Ana is just so immobile, and once they're being focused down by both of the DPSs, I feel like every single time the Ana will get out early.
They realized that, like, they weren't going to be able to win with the Echo Mercy comp, and that, you know, having KSA charging up that Rampage, that's just a ticking time bomb. If you don't have a Suzu or any, like, real defensive ultimate to counter it, then, like, yeah, that's going to just be a one-team fight if he's able to hit 2, even 3, even if he's able to just hit 1 and then focus.
Did he say Sag close?
I like the Kiriko swap here. I also
They're doing the Widow 1v1s. Oh, Quartz gets the fucking...
I like Onigod challenging the Quartz on the Widow. JP, that's not your fight, my guy. That's not the one that you want to be taking.
Oh, okay. Well, JP... I think the Kiriko can just spam some kunais at where that Widow is peeking.
Oh,
and it can
come
stop the
on,
peaks
Quartz.
for
You've hit some
maybe a second
easier
there,
shots
but
than that,
it
dude.
isn't too favorable for JP. And Quartz is still allowed a lot of free reign just because of how oppressive Yazan and Haku are being. They're pushing past the point, and that healing and the damage boost, it just does so much for Saudi Arabia.
Mercy! I appreciate the massive 10 get the subs, my friend. Stealing back first place. I appreciate it. Absolutely insane.
And then again, they still have the res ability. Like, they still
massive
have
W. I appreciate
on
it.
The Mercy, the res can always come through. Quartz can get a second wind here. Now Norway, they can't. They don't have a second wind. They barely have any wind in their sails at this point. The way Surmajed keeps hitting kunai, like everybody on Saudi Arabia.
Norway's just getting spawn camped.
Yeah, Yazan. Once again, I feel like the only name that we've been saying for a lot of these matches is Yazan. Quartz that's thrown in there. KSA gets thrown in there, Surmajed, Haku, it's all there, but Yazan definitely feels like he wants to be the star of the show, and going to do so. First to pop that ultimate on the duplicate, and this is also the first full-on fight that we've seen Norway be in, and it's right outside their spawn room. Yazan getting brought real low. I don't think there's a... Okay, there it comes, such a big heal from the rest of the squad, and the Rampage does come through, but obviously not allowed in the spawn room.
Ooh, okay,
I don't die. Okay, appreciate the massive 2 months, my friend.
Have a chance. You know, they got a force and then they punish the res. They have to try and weather the storm while they have a man advantage. But I mean, Saudi Arabia, they still have an ult advantage. They're gonna invest the Kitsune Rush. Surmajed falls. They're gonna be able to take down Isaac.
Yeah, I don't think Norway's capping first, bro. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, and it feels like Saudi Arabia know their limits very
Mercy,
well.
I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate
that
it.
Rampage in the back pocket for so long, never decided to use it.
No, I don't think. No, there's no way. I just jinxed fucking Saudi Arabia. No way.
There's
no way. They're not capping, chat. I still keep my fucking.
But it's not going to last for long, and the Kitsune Rush is just going to try to hold Saudi Arabia.
They still haven't capped yet. They still haven't capped yet.
Back to this site, Quartz now on the Tracer, dancing in and out of the objective. Mimio switched onto that Lucio though, and I like the switch over. It gives them that little bit of extra movement to dodge the shots. And Saudi Arabia, realizing that they're trying to adapt, now has switched onto the far as well. Isaac, good shot onto Haku, once again taking out the res. Focus down that Mercy first, get the supports out, and then Norway have a better chance.
I mean, Norway have a little bit of momentum too. They forced Quartz to swap.
Chat, there's no way there's a reverse sweep. There's no way Saudi Arabia loses, right?
They've got a very survivable backline with the Kiriko Lucio now. They've got the
Can't jinx that, right? Can't jinx that.
Maybe get a point C cap here if they're able to deal with this Rampage from KSA.
Only God really looking for that Mercy once again. You can see how high he's just checking for it, and now the EMP to come through, the Rampage to counter from Saudi Arabia. Lots of the members of Norway anti-healed, but it's just Isaac left in this room, not being focused down at all. That Rampage onto KSA is going to make it so much easier. Even the Suzu cannot save him, and now Quartz is the only one from Saudi Arabia to find a pick. JP taking down the Tracer though, and Mimio switching onto the Moira. Seeing a lot of these support switches, not allowing that ultimate to really build up from Norway, but they're really looking for that burst healing backline.
They didn't get that pick off onto Yazan at the end. If they had gotten that last little exit
there's
kill
no
there,
way you're right, Jay. Say it. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way Saudi Arabia loses this next fight. They have 2 fucking 3, 4 ults. They have 4 ults.
Just a pulse bomb, maybe a Kitsune rush if the fight goes long, but
and Yazan's on Farah. Look, see? There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, there was really nothing JP was going to be able to do against that, especially since that Kiriko was so isolated. I mean, perhaps a swift step, but still the damage output was just so oppressive. Psycho going to trade Quartz out for the pick that Yazan did get, though, but the res comes through very, very quickly. Once again, Haku is just such a
see, they won the team fight, chat. There's no curse. There's no curse.
Consideration. That's why they have such a dive-heavy backline to look for the supports, but they're just not doing that in this fight. Now forced back from the objective. Surmajed just spamming away at the kunais. The pulse bomb opening things up though. Quartz goes down again, and the Valkyrie comes through from Haku, giving a little bit of that extra damage and sustain to this team, as well as the Kitsune Rush. Both support ultimates expended from Norway's side, but the Coalescence from Mimio does quite a sizable amount of damage. Isolating now Surmajed, looking for the objective. Oh my god, okay. Actually going to find find Isaac and survive the fight as well. Quartz still contesting objective. They're 2 meters away from getting the touch and the second capture, and they've got 40 seconds left over. Saudi Arabia really looking to solve. Quartz dancing around.
Nah, Saudi Arabia brings us back.
Able to find so much value from the biotic orb, and JP is also going to force out Quartz. Pulse Bomb does find the other support, and there's a little bit of that hack to come through on Onigod, but otherwise Norway are able to press forward.
They
what
shouldn't
a
have had
shot,
to use that
bro.
Kitsune
What
rush
a
there, but
shot.
because Surmajed gets that absolutely bonkers kill there onto Isaac, they have to in order to try and force it home. You should
Okay, chat. Norway needs the cat. Oh!
There to try and push it home.
Nice save. Oh, the Suzu. Lol forehead. I love
They just have
Suzu.
safety in play in the high ground there.
Suzu's amazing, chat.
That
was a great save by Surmajed on Haku, too.
Well before regrouping with the rest of the
But
squad.
Norway needs a cap with
Saudi
time,
Arabia,
chat. They need a cap with time.
At the point. Onigod is really looking for whenever these players try and touch that ground. Haku is taking a lot of damage every time he tries and goes onto that low ground. However, Saudi Arabia, they once again have this ultimate advantage. JP, though, huge pick onto Quartz after switching back onto the Widow, getting punished for it. But Haku comes
He
in
lands
with
his
the res
pulse bomb. He
very
lands his
quickly.
pulse bomb.
Yazan comes
He lands
back
this.
in even after they did so much work to find that pick. Now Psycho going to be the 1-2 contestant with the stick onto the tank. KSA gets brought
Too
down
bad pulse bomb doesn't
low,
do fucking
but still
anything.
brought back by the back line. And now Psycho no longer the factor to be spoken of. Surmajed landing kunais left and right. KSA does have a hack on their tank, but the damage isn't enough from Onigod. Not before Yazan finds that pick. Isaac actually going to go for a reset and switch onto maybe a different tank other than
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. They need to change Kiriko, bro. That 3 times headshot damage, take it the fuck out of the game, dude. It's so stupid.
Every time they're able to find a pick,
So stupid.
They can't punish the res. Haku comes through with it. Saudi Arabia's back to
There's
full
no
strength.
way Saudi
Or even if they
Arabia
manage to find a
doesn't
trade
lose
where
this,
they
right?
can't
They have
res it,
5 fucking
They still don't have
ults.
enough people to press the advantage, and now it's gone at this
5
point in time.
ults.
Yeah, now Norway, they simply cannot win this map. They can only try and hope for a draw. They have to go all in, but Saudi Arabia have every ult they could possibly want to shut this right down.
Saudi Arabia, they have 4 ultimates in the bank, and Onigod looking for their tank, trying to get them out of the game early, but Yazan is doing so much damage in just 1 hit. Both of the support ultimates, the Kitsune Rush doing come through, and there's
Wait,
that
if you
Valkyrie as
barrage
well
in the
from
Kitsune,
Haku.
do you like
Still
ult faster?
more ultimates that can be expended from Saudi Arabia, and the barrage is pressed. 2 picks, 3 from Yazan onto Isaac as well. Now without the tank, that overtime just goes away too quickly to speak of in a matter of seconds.